Hey everybody, it's Mark Arnstein, Remax Hallmark, and of course livingnorthtoronto.com. This is vlog number 110, and our multiple offers back. There's been a lot of talk and a lot of stuff on the media, and all the different reports have been coming out about, oh, the market's doing this, the market's doing that, and things aren't moving, and buyers are getting frustrated and properties aren't selling. Well, today I thought, let's talk about what actually is happening currently in the Toronto real estate market. So I thought, before we get into too much detail, let's take a little drive and check out what's going on in the neighborhood. So since January this year, the amount of listings that have been coming onto the market have actually been very slow. So normally as we build up from January going into spring, you start to see more and more inventory come onto the marketplace. And what's happened right now is that, in fact, we're seeing very little of that. And given that we're almost into the middle of May, normally at this time of year, you would see at least, for sure, one, maybe two, sometimes even three listings on one long batch of a street. And right now, it's just not happening. And what we're starting to see now, which I mentioned earlier, are multiple offers back again. And the answer to that actually is yes. Now, there's still some people who will go with the strategy of list bang on for what the home is worth and stay tight to the pricing and don't deviate from that. And that works totally fine. But we are seeing a lot of properties coming onto the market that have offer dates back again and that are creating back into those multiple offer situations. And what's happened is, because most people typically in Toronto will want to buy before they'll sell because they want to know where they're going, and given that the little bit of inventory that's out there, it's creating so much more pressure onto the actual market itself. Now, of course, not everything is going in multiple offers, and there is risk reward with going with that pricing strategy, which I'm not going to talk about today because that's not what this vlog is all about. What I want to emphasize more importantly is that the market is coming back, and it's coming back extremely well and very strong. There, again, is just a real shortage of inventory out there, like I keep mentioning from earlier, and it's putting so much more demand onto the overall marketplace, to the point where even with rates being what they are, and let me tell you, rates aren't actually all that bad. Rates are actually pretty good. We're under 5% on 5-year money, 4-year money, and 3-year money. Now, of course, we're not back to where we were, in pre-pandemic levels of interest rates, but what the market is showing us, what's happening, is that we are now adjusted to what is the new norm and what is going on. And the fact is that people still want to buy and sell real estate, which is the most important part. Who comes out and then blocks the whole entire 2 lanes of traffic to make their left-hand turn? It is mind-boggling how poorly people know how to drive in the city. So right now we're cruising down St. Germain Avenue, which actually happens to be one of my most favorite streets in the neighborhood. Why? Because the lots typically on this street are all really super deep. They're normally come in around 150 feet deep in depth, so which gives these phenomenal backyards. The other thing is that you're in just a great spot in the neighborhood because you're kind of smack in the middle of it. You're, that easy walking distance to get to the subway, easy walking distance to get to all the schools. It's got beautiful trees on the street. It's just a great place to be. But, as we're driving down the street right now, we've gone now almost 2 blocks, and there is literally not one for sale sign on the streets right now. And people might say, oh, well, because most people who bought and did stuff was all done during the pandemic, and they paid all these crazy prices for their houses because the market was so overinflated at that point. But the other catch to that is they also got rock bottom interest rates to go along with paying a little bit more than what they probably wanted to for the house. So with that being said, those people usually would have locked in for probably on a 5-year fixed rate mortgage. So they're not going to be coming up for sale, if any at all, in the next 3 to 5 years. So that's not where the marketplace is at this point. What the marketplace is at are the people who are hey, you know what? I still want to do something. I still want to make that move, but I got to figure out where I'm going to and how I'm going to get there. And by the fact that there is no inventory, they can now put their homes on the market, especially in those sweet price points between, $1,300,000 to just, in that mid-2 range. You're seeing a lot of that go now. That's where the sweet part is, the multiple offers. but we're also even seeing it in the higher price range stuff as well. So it's not just restricted. So just to give another example, another street in the neighborhood, we're on Fairlawn. Again, awesome, amazing street, but there's not one listing on the street for sale right now. There's nothing. In the 3 main sections of the street from Yonge to Avenue Road, there's nothing. So bottom line is that the increase in rates have had no effect. The restrictions or what the government was trying to do in corrections have had no effect. And we're operating with virtually little to no inventory. So when something does become available for sale, people are on it very quickly. It creates that multiple offer feeding frenzy that happens, and prices are coming back quite nicely and very strong. So if you're giving any thought to this, it still is, yes, a great time to sell your home. Now, on the buying side of that, put in perspective, is yes, the cost of borrow has gone up a little bit more and probably a little bit higher than where you would like it to be, but the bottom line is that we're back into where normal range of interest rates would typically be if it hadn't been for the pandemic. So multiple offers are back, we've got low inventory, there's a shortage of listings. So if you got any thought to this, let me know. Love to talk to you more about it. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.